Am I the asshole for accusing my neighbor of being a mail thief and a hoarder and demanding he proves his innocence? I, 28 male, have been residing in my current residence for around 3 years, successfully maintaining amicable relations with my neighbors. Over the last few months, I've been ensnared in a conflict with one of my neighbors, whom I'll call Bob, 60s male, who has occupied his domicile for at least the last 10 years. It all kicked off when I observed a surprising decline in my spam mail, which usually fills my mailbox. I'm admittedly quite good at sharing my address online. At first, I shrugged it off, but then I started noticing absurdly growing piles of what seemed like newspapers, magazines, and other mail behind Bob's window. It was an obscene amount of paper, suspiciously more than any sane person should be receiving. Fueled by my suspicions, I resolved to confront Bob. I walked over to his house and requested an explanation for the seemingly stolen piles of mail that were visibly accumulating in his living room. I explicitly asked if he had been stealing my mail, my endless stream of gardening catalogs, exotic pet magazines, obscure culinary subscriptions, and countless other bizarre spam mails that I had strangely stopped receiving. Bob's response was a simple denial, followed by him making numerous accusations towards me. He wouldn't even open his door, presumably hiding his paper fortress out of a deeply held shame. Unsatisfied and finding Bob more suspicious than ever, I took my concerns to the neighbors, as well as voicing them at the Village Bridge Night, the card game. I expected them to side with me over the blatant disregard for personal property and community safety. Oddly, I was met with a cacophony of opinions, some suggestion I may have committed wrongdoing by stirring trouble over what they considered trivial matters and baselessly accusing Bob of theft. Obviously, it wasn't baseless. Some agreed with me that Bob is causing a fire hazard and chaotic living conditions. His children haven't visited in a while, and to be honest, I can see why. My neighbors seem to be dawdling over making any decisive actions, allowing tensions to escalate in the community. They don't seem to understand that this should be nipped in the bud before it grows wildly out of hand. I've been left feeling like a villain in this story, causing upheaval over perceived mail theft and hoarding. So, Reddit, am I the asshole for aggressively confronting Bob over his suspicious and potentially dangerous hoarding of what I believe includes my stolen mails and demanding he proves his innocence? Edit 1. I don't think I've made it clear how much paper he has. He has, I think, the most extraordinary large amount of paper. Edit 2. I neglected to mention a good point my ex-girlfriend made. This Bob is an absolute nightmare on the bowling green. Edit 3. I really don't think you guys understand how much paper there is in his window. I can take a photo if this isn't against the rules, although I will have to check. Edit 4. Final edit, I hope. I'm not sure if I've communicated myself well, or maybe Reddit isn't understanding. Should I rewrite this up again in greater detail to explain? Edit 5. Final edit. Fine. I'm going to buy a camera and aim it at my gate. I suppose it would be against the rules to post an update in this subreddit with proof, so I will post it in a different one.